So I've got 5 tips for you guys on how to make better content and how to create that value and communicate with your viewers and with your clients. So tip number 1 is that you gotta have a mic. Super important to have a mic. Now when you film a video, just because you could hear it and you think you could understand yourself, that is actually a huge difference between the viewer being able to understand what it is that you're saying. Now it doesn't really matter when you're just starting out what kind of mic you have. Obviously, price does make a difference. You know, if you do want to take care of your voice, there are nice mics out there. But whatever you do, you cannot use the mic on your phone. You cannot use the mic on your camera. All right? If you got nothing else, you just got to grab a shot. That's fine. But if you really want to be able to communicate with your viewers, then you have to get a mic. Okay, so tip number 2 is you're going to need a good tripod. Don't be like me. When I first started, I bought one of those Amazon Basics, you know, top seller, cheap tripod, and I can't tell you how much I hate that thing. You know, it's right now it's one of those like kill me tripods. You know, if I'm gonna go on something like a trek that's very dangerous, you know, I don't mind like trashing that thing, then sure, I'll take it out. But otherwise, it's just not reliable. It's just not convenient for me. You know, so you gotta think that when you're creating content, you wanna minimize all the hassles and, you know, all the little kinks in your gear, because the truth is you got plenty to worry about already, right? You don't need to be worrying about a tripod. So you're gonna need a tripod that's steady, and ideally you gotta have a tripod with a video head. On some of those smaller tripods, you're gonna end up with like a ball head, and that's okay if your camera's smaller, but think of it as investing in yourself right now. Now, it should go without saying that if you are filming yourself, that you're gonna need a camera with great autofocus. Now, most of the cameras out there do have good autofocus, but do try to stay away from those very, very nice cinema lenses that are completely manual focus. Now, if you're just shooting yourself, really try to stay away from manual focus. I mean, I love manual focusing when I'm holding the camera. You know, I think it's great. I love the, you know, kind of point and shoot, trying to get that shot feeling. But when you're filming yourself, again, you need to just set it and forget it and just trust that it's going to work when you need it to work. Okay, so tip number 4, you're gonna find that when you're on YouTube, you find that all the vloggers have these wide angle lenses. The reason they have that is because it actually creates a lot of room in the back of you. And so when you're talking to the camera, you know, let's say you're traveling or something, that the viewer is able to see where you're at, what your surroundings are. Now, when you're filming fitness content in particular, a lot of people, myself included, really struggle with how much space you have at home, right? So trying to fit your entire body in that frame is actually quite difficult, you know, when you're shooting fitness. And so do yourself a favor and keep your eyes out for a wide angle lens. Now, let me just kind of show you the difference here in, you know, what this frame looks like. Right now, I'm shooting at about a 50 millimeter focal length, which is what some people consider pretty standard. Let me just go walk up to the camera. We're gonna widen things out here. All right, so we were at 50 and we're gonna widen this out, boom. So you can see that I've got a lot more space here. You've got my lights in the back, now you can see that. So this is about 24, 25 millimeter focal length, and it's a lot wider, and so you're gonna be able to get a lot more into the frame within a smaller space. Now it does have a different look, you know, so one thing you have to be mindful of is sort of this distortion. And so if I was to stick my hands out, you know, or towards the camera there tends to be a distortion at the wider focal lengths. And to be honest, people actually don't look quite as attractive at a wider focal length compared to a tighter focal length. And it's a very minimal thing, if you will, but there's definitely a difference. So let me actually just swap out the 14 millimeter lens that my buddy just let me borrow, and let me just show you that, because that's gonna blow your mind. All right, so this is now at about 20 millimeters of a focal length, and this is huge. This is awesome. So this gives a feeling of actually being like really spacious, perhaps even more spacious than it actually is. So with that, we're just gonna keep it on this lens here, and let's talk a little bit about the lights. You know, truth be told, before you go out and buy a camera, you're gonna need to buy some lights. Now remember, you know, we're communicating with video, this content stuff, video, this stuff's not going away. So do yourself a favor and invest in a good set of lights. And so you have to take care of these things, right? Take care of your face, take care of your voice, and that way you could communicate clearly with your audience. And so do yourself a favor and buy a set of lights, because no matter how much money you drop on a camera, you're still gonna need to buy lights in order to make it look good. So with that, my last tip about lights for you today is that whatever lights you get, you're gonna need a light that has a reading of a CRI of 95 plus, right? No matter what you do, if you buy lights, you gotta have this number, right? Now, obviously, you know, it's nice and better to buy better quality lights if you can afford it. That being said, not everybody can do that right now, but whatever you do, just remember, CRI 95 plus. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys found that helpful and you enjoyed that. Please let me know if you got any questions down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.